Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our at-home series with tennis. Today we have Noah with us again. We're going to be talking about timing and how to take the ball off of the bounce. So we're going to do a little bit of a lesson type format today. Noah's also going to be giving some tips and instruction on what we're going to be working on. So we're going to get started. What it's going to look like is we're going to take the ball. I'm going to feed the ball nice and high, and Noah is going to be taking it as it bounces. So it's going to bounce, and then he's going to hit it. So right off of the bounce, and then he's going to take one that's about waist height, and then he's going to take some that are going to be shoulder height. So the key here is just to be watching his timing and where he's making contact and how he gets his racket into position on time every time. All right, so here we go. Okay. So if you notice, when Noah is taking it shoulder height, he gets his racket up. So it doesn't start down here. He gets his racket up, and then he comes through the ball, and he gets his racket and his strings on time with contact every time. Do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, so because the ball is at shoulder height, kind of what Hadley was saying too. So I'm going to be swinging more down. I'm not going straight down, but I'm going more along a line and going all the way through the ball because it's high, so you got to bring it back down into the court.
Yeah.
And then on those higher ones, in comparison to the ones where I'm taking it low, like at waist level, this is a lot less time for me. When I let it bounce, I have more time to get set up here and then swing through the shot.
Perfect. Yeah, and I think if you notice, we'll do some more. If you watch Noah's backswing as well, regardless if he's taking it right off the bounce or if he's taking it shoulder height or hip height, his backswing is a little bit more compact, would you say? Or
yeah, so it still feels like a normal shot to me, but I'm way more compact and closed off instead of hanging back here a little bit. I think that's the main thing. I'm not so much waiting for the ball like a ground stroke. I come at it like a ground stroke and then I finish through the shot. You kind of feel it out for yourself a little bit, but perfect. Smaller than bigger.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we're going to do a few more on the forehand side, and then we'll do the backhand side. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to do some backhands.
Yeah.
Same thing. So I think the big key here is when you watch Noah as his racket comes around, he gets his racket to accelerate at the point of contact. So his racket isn't dragging behind. So it's really key to get that racket head to accelerate right at the point of contact, regardless of what your backswing looks like. The racket head on contact on time is going to be the key for this shot. And with the backhand, he really stays turned and he uses his legs instead of just his arm, he uses his legs to push up to contact.
Yeah, so I'm not just standing there turning my shoulders and swinging. I'm kind of matching the ball and loading onto like my left foot and then going onto my right foot when I hit. And that's kind of what Hadley's talking about. So like I'm slow, and then I accelerate. So you just have to be really patient.
Perfect. And so I think this shot in particular is really helpful when we're playing people that are doing that moon ball effect, because I think the tendency is, especially when we're in the defense, in our mind, we're in the defensive mode. We tend to, kind of wait for it to bounce. And then because it's bouncing so high, now we're hitting like way above our shoulder. And so this would be a great shot to have in your repertoire, to be able to take the ball off of the bounce, and you take time away from them.
Yeah. And it's a much more aggressive shot. So like just sitting there lobbing, you feel really safe, but you're going to get worn down. Whereas if you're kind of more aggressive, you're going to make a few more mistakes in the beginning, but you'll slowly get the feel for it and just practicing.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's kind of that timing and watching the ball all at once. And I think we hear watch the ball all the time, and it's such a basic concept. And of course we see the ball, but to me, watching the ball is watching it all the way through contact. So, you're watching the ball as it bounces, but then are you lifting your head before you make contact, or are you watching it all the way through, track it to the racket or whatever the saying is. So now let's do a little bit of a live ball. So we'll just do short court, kind of mini tennis.
Yeah, we're like half volley.
Yeah, half volley. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of mini tennis half volleys, but here we're going to match the rhythm. So you're trying to hit on rhythm as a half volley. So watching Noah's feet, watching his backswing, this is a great warm up for those before a match or even in a clinic. So,
yeah.
Okay, so if you notice, it's a good warm up, it's a good workout. because you're not, sometimes we get kind of stuck kind of talking, but if you really focus, and regardless of the trajectory of the ball, if it's a little bit slower or a little bit faster, you have to be in position so that your racket is on time every time. And I think for me, as a coach and also a player, when I'm telling somebody to be on time, it means making contact somewhere between your knee and your shoulder, and then your contact point is your racket comes around on time in whatever height that you want, that you're going to be hitting the ball. And I think a lot of times it's just getting into position to hit the correct ball every time. And I think that's the trick of tennis.
Yeah.
But
your positioning for sure.
Yeah. So, okay. But I really think that, go rewind this video and really watch Noah's feet and how he gets into that position, and look at his contact point, and his racket is in the same spot almost every single time. And that's what makes a good player. And if you can do that consistently, your consistency goes up and your ability to dictate play, and you create options for yourself. which makes a huge difference. So now let's do a little bit of swinging volley. So it's the same,
Okay, yeah.
same thing. So we're going to do a little bit of a swinging volley. So same thing here. You know, we're going to throw that ball up at a little bit higher loopy shot. So again, it's watching the ball all the way through the racket, and it's the same thing, but you're just not letting it bounce.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then because it's loopier, it's like that higher shoulder ball. So I'm going to be coming from higher and more in a downward angle because that's where the ball is in position to the net. If it's down here, I'm not going to be hitting this shot. I'll just let it bounce.
Perfect.
Right here.
Perfect. Okay, so I would encourage all of you that are watching. I'd really like to cover some of this in some of our clinics and things like that. I really think that this is a shot that's neglected because typically, especially when we're playing doubles, we get stuck in this kind of no man's land area, and you know the tendency is just to kind of either let it bounce and then we give the other team time.
Yeah. Or it's at our feet and we're picking it up off the bounce and then giving them that high ball that then they're going to kind of punish us for.
Perfect. And I think like if we do end up letting it bounce, I think it goes back to that, you know, off the bounce shot.
Yeah.
You know, we panic thinking like, oh crap, I let it bounce. And it's like, no, it's okay. You know, just hit that half volley cross court and then give yourself time to get back into position. But I think we bail too soon, and then we set ourselves up for set the other team up for a put away.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think across the board, all of this, you know, for returns, all of the same concepts apply for returns, volleys, overheads as well. You know, you're really tracking the ball all the way to contact, and really making sure that your body is in position to hit the correct shot. And, you know, I think the tendency is, especially when points get going, I don't know about you, but I think our brain kind of shuts off and we're just worried about the result rather than thinking about, okay, just the basics, just watch the ball and where are you hitting, or what shot are you going to be hitting at that time? Yeah. And so
you just got to stay really patient.
Mm-hmm.
And then like on these balls, while they seem like I'm hitting the ball hard, it's just I'm timing the ball and taking it on the rise. So like return of serve, I don't need a huge backswing. I'm going to smack it. If I'm taking it on the rise, it's just going to be small. And because I'm taking it so early, it's going to be coming back faster.
That's an excellent point.
Yeah, it's not a matter of like I need to swing hard to make this ball. It's just get in position. Like I can do a little tiny swing like that, and it's going to be just as hard as if I were to wind up. And you're less error prone.
Yeah, I love that. I think that tendency, especially like a second serve, I think our tendency is to take this huge backswing and think we have to crush it, but it's really just you know, making sure that you're taking up, you know, off the bounce and being on time at that contact.
And it's easier to do it smaller too. Like, yeah, it feels good to wind up and smack it, but doing that like 10 in a row, it's not as fun. It's just nice and small, 10 in a row. It's just easier on your body.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's absolutely correct. So, okay, so that's the end of our instruction. Our summer programs are going to be gearing up here in the next couple of weeks. We hope to see most of you out here. Our adult programs and our junior programs will be in full force, hopefully starting June 1st. And as just a disclaimer, we will be practicing social distancing and we will be limiting class sizes so that we can provide that safety for our members. And thank you for all of your support with these videos. Again, please reach out to us if you have any questions. We're here to help you. This is a great time to get your racket restrung. We've had a bunch of people come out and bring out the rackets, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll hope to see you out on the courts. Have a good weekend.
That's good.